Before you can ship items on an outbound document, you must first pick them from the warehouse. Now, and this means that in a typical outbound warehouse process, you use outbound source documents, warehouse shipments, and a warehouse pick document. Now let me demonstrate this, and I already did some preparations. So I've created a few sales orders and I released them. So these are, of course, typically outbound source documents. So let me quickly open one. So a very simple one with one item. So again, it is released, which means that I could create the warehouse shipment from the sales order, but I will not do this for this demonstration. That's not the only outbound document that you can have. You can, of course, also have a purchase return. You can have transfer orders, and I also prepared a transfer order. Okay, so these outbound documents are now ready to ship. But like I just said, we first should pick the items. Okay, so let's create a new warehouse shipment. And just like with the warehouse receipts, you can use functions to insert multiple source documents on a warehouse shipment. So first I will select the location, which is white, and then I will go to process. Again, you can use get source documents to simply select the documents you want to include in this shipment. But there's also the filter function. So let me also use this. I will go to use filters and I will create a new filter. So for example, I would like to use a filter that inserts all outbound source documents that should leave with our own logistics. So let me enter the description. And so we have own trucks that we use to ship items to customers, to other locations, and so on. And to get the source documents, let's configure the filter. So the code and description, that's fine. And here in the shipping agent code, I will select own logistics. Okay. You can further refine it. For example, if you don't want to include all these source documents, you can disable some of them. But let's just stick to what we have here. So next I will run the filter. And there you can see now all the items, all the source documents that are inserted. And you can see indeed that we now have multiple source documents for this one warehouse shipment. And so there's sales order 1007, 1008, but also an outbound transfer order. And so these are all the documents that have the shipping agent own logistics. And that's what this filter results in. Okay, so this is the shipment, and with the shipment, we of course ship items to customers. But if you try to post a shipment, that's of course not possible because there is nothing to post. All the items are still located in the warehouse, so we should first pick them and move them to the shipment bin. Now this needs a warehouse pick. You can create warehouse picks in two different ways. There is the pick worksheet that is explained in the following unit. So for this example, let's create a pick from the warehouse shipment. So here I will select process, then create pick. So and this will of course create a pick for this one warehouse shipment. Okay, so the program says that the pick is created, but there are some bins that are not set up for picking. So that's something we already saw in another learning path. So this is because not all bins are available for picking, but still on the location card we set to always create a pick line. Okay, more important, let's have a look at the pick document. So here it is. So and this is now the pick instruction. So this is the instruction to the people in the warehouse to pick these items. Let's also add maybe the action type to this page. So I will go to personalize. So and this is so that you can see in a better way what a pick is, because also a pick document, just like a movement, just like a put away document, uses these action types to instruct the users in the warehouse. And so now these users need to take the item on their bins in the warehouse and then place them on the shipping bins. So the number 9 that you see here. Okay. Of course, you can still change these bins, so I can still change the bins to take from. If I would like to take this from another bin, that's perfectly possible. But let's stick to what we have here. So there's one blank bin code, and that's because of the bin that is not set up for picking. But still, we can use this bin. So let's use this one. There we go. Okay, so this is now my picking document. So now the user can go into the warehouse and pick these items. And when the picking is done, we can register the document. So I can now run register pick. And this will update my warehouse shipment. So now if I return to the warehouse shipments, so let's do this by opening the list of warehouse shipments and then open shipment 9. So when I first tried, we saw that we couldn't ship the items, which was quite normal because we didn't yet pick them. But now you can see here that the status says completely picked. So this means that now if I try to post again, you will now see that this works. And so in here you can see now that the items are being shipped. And so both from the sales orders and the outbound transfer. And that all source documents, of course, are updated. So if I go to one of the sales orders and if I open this one, and then if we check the lines, you can see here that the quantity shipped is 12.